Hello, welcome to the Self-Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Unit 33, Guidelines to Research Project Assignment. The first point is Research Project Objectives. The objective of the research project is to provide you with an opportunity to utilize the knowledge and apply the skills gained from the MSO tool so that you may be able to use social science research methodologies and methods in the world of work and for pursuing research degree like MPhil and PhD in the social sciences. You would need to read the contents of the 3 books in detail from the point of view of the subject of your research project. You would study in depth the relevant theoretical foundations, appropriate methods and techniques for carrying out field research in order to generate your own data. In this process, you may come across constraints at any stage of your research project. You would need to overcome those constraints and present the results of your research in about 5,000 words. This discussion would take us to the next section of this unit, that is preparing for the research project. Now let us discuss preparation of the research project. Here we give in brief the main stages of the research project, and in the next section we will read their details. The first is the planning stage. This stage begins as soon as we enroll for the course. The effort you put into your research project would be optimum. If you work systematically, some of the steps that you need to follow are listed in the next section for your reference. Just to start with a few of them are: start a diary or a logbook to systematically record the process and activities you undertake throughout the research project. Identify and determine the theme for your research project within 6 to 10 weeks of receiving your learning material by browsing through each of 3 books. Start making entries in your diary or logbook. This will help you in later stages of your research. Consult the academic counselor and discuss with her or him the feasibility of carrying out your research. Give yourself some degree of flexibility for changing your research topic. This should, of course, be done keeping in mind the time and resources available at your end. Visit the libraries close to the place of your residence for consulting the books in the reading list suggested by the social scientist you had spoken to. The above steps would be enough to get going into your research project. You would now be ready for the second stage of your research, that is, working on the research project. Getting an overview of your research project through a review of secondary data. Contextualizing journal observations with the objectives of your research project. Description of case study projects, if any. Identifying the key actors or informants or participants and their social networks. Selecting methods for data gathering and analysis. Data analysis, drawing conclusions. After working on your research project will come the stage of putting it down on paper, or let us say that this is the stage of writing up your material. The third one is research project report. Writing or typing the report, selecting the format of the report, organizing accordingly the presentation of data and its analysis. Going through the above three stages of the research project will see you build a capacity for conducting a social research. We will now discuss in detail all stages of research, including above three mentioned in this section. Now let us move to the next point, stages of research project. The discussion in this section is to give you guidelines so that you are able to carry out the research in a systematic and confident manner without any apprehension and fear of failure. Let us begin with the first stage. Stage 1, planning stage. At the planning stage, you will need to accomplish the following 4 tasks in a careful manner. This is so because good planning is likely to provide you a clear and concise understanding of what you are going to do. The first one is work out a timetable for completing the reading of the course material. Along with this task, plan your timetable for carrying out all your assignments and make a conscious effort to maintain your work progress as planned. Make sure to assign some time for research project in your timetable. Exploring options for individual research project would entail the following steps. You would need to explore options for an appropriate topic from the list in the assignment booklet. Because of the time constraints and demands of your other than study responsibilities like a job, family obligations, etc., it would be most appropriate if you select a research topic that is contextualized in the area of your work or residence. In this matter, you need to first decide your area of interest. For example, environment, ecology, natural resources, education, minority communities, socially marginalized groups, girl, child, working woman, family, marriage and kinship, etc. The list can be a really long one. After selecting the theme or an area of your interest, you can proceed to determine the nature and location of your research. As per your convenience, you need to conduct field research in a manner that does not make a heavy demand on your time, energy and resources, as you have many other tasks to complete during the course of your study. The next task is to determine the extent, quality and type of secondary data available, as there has to be ample background information on your research topic to give you an understanding of the social processes involved in taking the situation to its current state. This would require you to collect secondary data from various sources. You only need adequate data to get a clear picture of the current status of the social situation so that you can contextualize your own research project. Making an arrangement with the academic counselor at your study center to seek help and advice when you feel the need for a discussion on your research or when you find that you are facing some difficulty in carrying out your research. Preparing a research proposal. This needs to be a brief statement with the following heads: title of the research project, purpose and objectives of research, research methods, time frame. You can discuss the research proposal with your academic counselor and consider it once more from the point of view of the time and resources available to you for completing the research. Make modifications, if any, at this stage, and once you have begun working on it, make efforts to stick to your plan. If you keep making changes again and again, you will waste time, energy, and resources without achieving much. The evaluation of this assignment will focus on the efforts made by you rather than on the achieving a superbly finished product that you may do after completing your master's program in sociology. Stage 2. Actual carrying out of research. The details of the following depend mostly on the type of research you undertake. Here are 5 steps you can take in order to execute your research plans. Determine data requirements. The data you will require will relate to relevant acts and policies, if any, existing about the topic of your research. Maps and other visual materials. Census enumeration of the general or particular area of research. Social economic survey of sample population to prepare a profile of the people. Socio-cultural, economic, and political issues identified through participatory methods. Institutional structure, procedures, and processes. Case study or extended method report to reflect social change and conflict. Prepare for data collection. You need to find out if there is existing data available on the topic of your research and whether it would be suitable for your research project. It is necessary to determine and record who collected this data, when it was collected, and how reliable the information is. You need to remember to note the following details about every source of information you refer to. Full title of the document, book, journal, map, etc. Author, department, agency that has prepared the document, book, journal, map, etc. Data or year when the document, map, etc. was prepared. Data or year when the document, book, journal, map was published. Edition, place of publication and publisher for books and articles. After this initial exercise, determine the specific requirements for the additional data that may pertain to both primary and secondary data for achieving the objectives of your research. Now let us wind up the session and take rest. Thank you very much for engaging yourself with the Self-Learning Podcast.